As I've shown, you can easily add markers to a map, but they accumulate. When you add one, the old ones aren't automatically removed. And in some apps, you might only want to show one marker at a time. I'm working in a version of the project called Remove Markers, and in my geolocate method, I already have the code to add the marker. I create the marker options object, I set its properties, and then I add it to the map. To make sure you only have one marker at a time, you should declare an instance of the marker class. And then each time you add a marker, you can get a reference to it and save it persistently with the activity. I'll go up to the top of my class. In this version of the project, I only have a location client object. I took out the location listener object that I showed how to code earlier. But I'll add a new field here, data typed as the marker class, and that comes from the same package as marker options. I'll name it marker, lowercase. Then I'll go back to my geolocate method. I'll find the line where I'm adding the marker to the map, and the add marker method will return that reference. So I'll say marker equals mmap.addMarker. Now, before I add the new marker, I'll check to see whether there's already a marker on the map. I'll place that code here before I start creating the new marker. I'll add some conditional logic, and my condition will be marker not equal to null. So, if I have a non-null marker object, I can simply call that object's remove method. Notice that there are many other methods available that you can use to manipulate a marker at runtime. So you aren't calling a method from the map, you're just referencing the marker itself. And as long as I retain that reference to the marker object, I can modify its behavior or simply get rid of it. So I'll run the app again. I'll once again start by typing in New York, and then pressing the search button. And again, the geolocation service does a great job of fixing my bad typing. But now I'll re-enter Statue of Liberty. And as I did before, I'll zoom out and show that the original marker has disappeared. If you want to track multiple markers on a map, just create a collection, an array list, or a hash map perhaps, that can reference the markers. Finally, it's important to know that markers aren't automatically restored when an activity restarts. So for example, I'll move my map, and then I'll rotate the phone. Then I'll search for Seattle, my original location, and I'll search again, but then when I rotate the phone, the marker disappears. If you want to make your markers persist, you'd have to write some code, and I encourage you to explore the idea of storing information about the map in shared preferences or perhaps an SQL-like database so that you can handle that situation and restore information about the map that you might want to retain between changes in orientation and other configurations.